So, we watched K-On! Season 1, episode 269.
I'm indifferent.
What do you guys think I think of it?
Nah.
I think you're meh on it.
You think I'm meh on it?
Well, okay, when I say meh, I mean like, it's alright.
No, I give K-On! Like a fucking 9.
Well,
I adore K-On!
Well, I guess we're back to Spooky is no longer my anime friend. I'm now anime friends with Gam.
Yep,
yeah.
we've switched roles. No,
Dear and
I
anime
like K-On!
friends
a lot.
again. Spooky.
K-On!'s like an 8 or a 9, somewhere in there.
No, you know what it is?
What?
It's Spooky. A friendship ended with Spooky. Deer and Gam are no longer Spooky's friends. Now Crowds is Spooky's anime friend.
It's true.
Yes.
Crowds, if you're listening to this, I love you.
Crowds, if you're listening to this, fuck you. I know us watching K-On! This soon is partly your fault.
Yes, it is very true. I was,
Yes.
Yeah, no, I wish you guys could have seen me during the episode. I, like, in my case behind me, I have, like, 2 really nice K-On! Figures. I have, like, K-On! Plushes and shit. I love K-On!
What characters? What characters?
Well, actually, wait, I want to see if you guys can guess. I have two of the 5. I like 2 of the 5 pretty equally. I can never choose between
Drummer.
them. Which 2?
I think you like the drummer and Mio.
Yes.
Drummer and Mio, huh? No, it's Mio and Moogie.
Oh. Okay, well.
I was tossing up whether to say Moogie, but then Dia
Yeah.
said the drummer really confident, so I was like, maybe
No.
Dia's right.
No, I fucking love Moogie.
The moral of the story is Dia is never right.
It's true.
But, it's funny because you're sitting there, we were watching the ending, and you were like, I hate Moogie's costume in this, dear, and that's the
do.
figure I have. I have the...
I love that costume. Honestly, yeah. Honestly, not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of glad that outfit is the one you have a figure of, because that looks like an outfit that would be really good for a figure.
Yeah, I have Moogie and Mio's from the ending, so... But yeah.
It's very much a performance outfit.
Yeah.
It's just not my
I enjoy
jam.
them. It makes sense. But anyway, yeah, K-On! Let's jump into this. So you guys loved it, right? It was your favorite.
Yeah, Okay, so I'll preface this with, like... So, usually my notes for the, these ones take up, like, maybe, like, 4/5 to a whole page for an entire episode. These ones barely got to half a page, because nothing fucking happens in this.
It's true.
Can I just say really quick, my initial plan for the podcast was to show
I know
you guys...
you're going to make us watch each season. There's more than one season.
No. Well, there is more than one season, but my initial plan for the podcast was this week to be like, here's K-On!, a good moe slice of life, and the next week I was gonna go, here's a bad one, but that's not fucking happening now.
I would fucking kill you, Spooky.
It's at least not right away. I'm sure we'll watch some bad moe at some point, but like, that was my plan. It was gonna be back to back.
God.
So
This is my literal least favorite genre. I cannot stand. I can't.
I love this shit.
Like, okay, this wasn't, like, absolutely terrible. There were moments where it's like, oh, that's a funny joke, or, like, that's a funny visual gag, but, like,
It's just cute girls doing cute things, and it makes me happy. That's it. Brain happy. Turned off. But yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Okay, episode 2. We start with a girl unfocused in school, and she's... someone's talking to her, and she's like, what? And then we get a narration of, like, I'm always klutzy. I'm always, like, klutzy and, like, clumsy and, like, unfocused. And then the intro starts. It's like, okay, that was a weird fucking, like, slice before we start the episode, whatever. And then we get, like, intros for each character that we meet, and it's like, okay, whatever. Like, okay, there's the bassist, there's the keyboardist, there's the drummer, And then there's me, the guitar player. It's like, okay, these are our characters. Cool! We get our little intros. The bassist is the shy one, the drummer is the excited one, and the keyboardist is the rich girl who's a robot, but we'll get to that.
And also, like, a fucking bodybuilder, apparently.
Well, that's why she's a robot, but we'll get to it. We start with the new girl to the group, who's our protagonist, Yui, going up to the bass player and being like, so why didn't you play guitar? And she's like, because playing guitar is embarrassing, because you're the, like, core of the band, you're up front and center, like, everyone's paying attention to you, and it's like, I can't handle that, and then she melts down and dies. And then we learn that the keyboardist is amazing at playing piano, that's why she joined the group to play keyboard. And then suddenly, oh hey, by the way, it's tea time. Rich girl brings out some tea and cakes, her own tea set, because she's rich. It's like, okay, tea time, no practice. And the drummer, we learn, is a drummer because they, like, even just thinking about, like, intricately using their fingers to play instruments is just too much for them, so they're a drummer instead. And then, oh no, the protagonist doesn't have a guitar. No, they can't practice. Oh well, tomorrow we'll go practice. We'll go out and check out some guitars. But oh no, she has no money for a guitar. And then we realize she doesn't even know how to play guitar, but then Spooky cleared up that in the first episode that was already known. So don't worry. I know you're worried that this is going to become a story arc where, like, she has to fake knowing how to play guitar. But don't worry. That doesn't happen. So anyway, the protag goes up to her mom and is like, hey mom, can I get an advance on my, allowance? Like, cause they want, like, a guitar could cost, like, anywhere from, like, 50,000 yen to the expensive ones start at, like, 100,000 yen. She's like, oh, okay, I'll get an advance. Somehow her mother says yes. But I guess that's what families that aren't poor are like.
Yeah.
And then she's like, okay, shopping montage time. Women be shopping. We go, oh no, she's looking at clothes, and now they're chilling out, now they're eating food, and then suddenly, oh, okay, let's go look at the guitars now. They look at the guitars, and she's like, okay, what do I need to think about when finding a guitar? And Mio's like, okay, you need this, and think about this, and this, and then the protag is like, whoa, this one's cute, and completely ignores her. And it's like, wow, that one is nice, but it's 5 times your budget. Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, you could haggle to get it. This is where we get the, haha, isn't it funny that rich people have a lot of money? Because she's never had to haggle. She doesn't know what haggling is. And then we get, like, how they got their base, how Mia got her base, where she stood in front of the base for, like, weeks on end and then finally built up the courage to ask for it. And then we get how the drummer got her drums, where she's essentially yelling at the shopkeeper to be like, you can go lower, give me these drums. But oh well, all the girls, they'll get a temp job to help pay for it. You know what? We'll count cars. That's a job that's going out. But before we go count cars, let's have another picnic. It honestly feels like the rich girl has, like, an ulterior motive or something. Like, she's slowly poisoning them or something with all this tea and cakes. Like, every episode's like, oh, but before we do this, it's tea time. Just put a little bit of cyanide in here. So yeah, now they're counting cars, and we get, like, a montage of, like, oh, the drummer can't focus, and they're falling asleep, and the protagonist is falling asleep because it's so boring, but the rich girl is unfazed. She is working hard, staring forward, unblinking. She's a robot. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they're eating their cakes after work, and it's like, oh man, let's just keep eating the fancy foods, because the rich girl's like, oh well, if I didn't eat it, it would just go to waste anyway, so we may as well eat it. So okay,
because everybody
cool. We'll
gives them
eating.
Free food, apparently.
Yeah, because everyone just gives them free food.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a real funny gag though of while they're having this picnic, the bassist and the drummer were laying down in the grass, looking up at the clouds, and then it zooms in on their hands, and you see them clicking, and they both realize at the same time that they're actually counting clouds. Which is a funny little gag.
Yeah, it's cute.
Anyway, after that, we find out, oh man, the job still isn't giving them enough money to get the guitar, so we've got to get more money. And then it's just like, oh man, really wish we could do it. And the rich girl's like, I want to try this haggling thing. She goes up to the shopkeeper, and the shopkeeper's like, oh god, this is the president's daughter, the president of the company's daughter. Oh, fuck, is this price good enough? And she weakingly call back to earlier, is like, you can do better. And so, long story short, the rich girl solved the problem accidentally without even knowing she did, I think. Or she may have known that she was abusing her power, but who knows. And so now, protagonist has a guitar. Yay! And then she shows up to the club next day, and they're like, play us something, and she plays like a really basic ditty. And they're like, wow, you haven't been practicing. It's like, she got it last fucking night. Like, what is wrong with y'all?
Listen, you should be a pro in one night.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I haven't really wanted to practice that much because it's like brand new and shiny and I don't want to ruin it. And they're like, oh yeah, that's understandable, I guess. And then the drummer leans over and rips off the plastic that's on the front of the guitar, you know, the clean film to keep it factory fresh. And she like apologizes, and funny gag apparently. And then the protagonist pulls out the amp cord without turning the amp off first, and oh no, the amp explodes and stuff happens, and the episode's over. Goodbye.
Yep.
Don't Gam
Moogie
isn't into this. I can't.
Yeah.
He seems like he's loving it.
Moogie doesn't know like her influence really, until afterwards. But yeah, Moogie's like the rich girl who lacks common sense. Like in the first episode, they go to a fast food restaurant, and she's like really excited to try fast food for the first time. And she like sits down next to Ritsu, and she just has like a drink and french fries, and she watches Ritsu pour all of her fries like onto her like the like little serving tray they give you. Yeah. And Moogie's like, oh wow, and then dumps all of her fries just on top of Ritsu's. Just like no idea what she's supposed to fucking do. But she's just like cute. I don't know. I like Moogie a lot.
I like her. I just don't like characters like that because it's just like it just reminds me of how poor I am and how poor I was growing up. It's man, yep, you have so much money. Man, I wish that was a problem for me.
Right. Right. Yeah, I don't know. I like how Moogie's done though. How she's like,
from what I can tell, she seems like an actually fun character.
Yeah, like she doesn't like flaunt it. She like
she's oblivious.
She's kind of the opposite.
No,
like she wants to be seen just as like like money doesn't really matter much to her. Like the fact that she's rich is like kind of whatever. She wants to do just everything with the other girls type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
In the next episode, there's a stage, and they're at school, and it's a festival, and everyone looks really cute. And then they start to play, finally. But then it gets cut off by the intro. But then we cut back afterwards to see the school before everything starts. And the bassist is really nervous, and Protag is making yakisoba at the festival and doesn't have time to practice for a thing that's happening today. And drummer is doing a haunted house thing, so they're also busy. Rich girl is also inside the haunted house, so bass guitar is nervous and has to go into the haunted house, but then does a scream.
Bass guitar is nervous.
Yes. And does a scream and scares everybody outside of the haunted house because, of course. And a girl who is class leader? Or something?
Yeah, she's like class rep or something.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Protag, leave early, go practice. And she's like, okay. Apparently Protag has a fucked up voice, though. She's kind of raspy. And they joke about being sumos for a second with drummer. And then Rich Girl and drummer are wandering around before they find Protag peeking in on the bassist. She's been practicing all morning for something. And there's apparently turtles everywhere in the school for some reason. I don't know why. And then a teacher comes in, and she brought them costumes, and Basis is nervous about being in front of the whole school, let alone being in costume. Drummer, too. And then the teacher leaves, and Basis has a fucking panic attack over by the window, and no one seems to notice. When everything's ready, they have tea again, and snacks, and apparently as a kid, Basis got embarrassed about being left-handed because Drummer pointed it out, so she turned into a right-hander. And she's nervous with everything she does. So she comes back and tries to fake that she's not nervous, and the teacup that she's holding is like on the fucking plate. And she's like, Drummer, why don't you sing? I'll drum and play bass and do all these things instead just so you sing. And Protag's like, I'll do it. And then Basis pretty much goes like, wait, no, that's not what I meant. And then they have to decide who's going to introduce everybody. And then they make a joke. Now's the time for the club to sing. And they put on the outfits finally. And the curtain goes up. And Basis is like, oh God, there's so many people. But everyone thinks they're cute. And then Protag is like, hey, bassist, let me talk to you for a second. Come here. Hey, you're really good, and I really like you, and I support you, and I love you, and you're valid, and you're great. And then everyone's like, ditto. And then they play. And the bassist voice is fucking great next to protagonist. And then it's a music video of them being hippie criminals and being chased by the police. And then they cut back and everyone claps and bassist feels good and everything's good. But then when they go to leave, bassist forgets to pull the cord out of her amp and she trips and falls and flashes everyone with a bowl of rice. And then she gets a fan club and then that's the episode.
A bowl of rice.
A bowl of rice.
Yep, that's what was up her skirt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
Mm-hmm. I will be honest, I think that was actually kind of clever way of doing it. Like, as much as I hate panty shot jokes, that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
The way that they did it. Because it's like, that's the traditional, like, panty pattern and color that is used in, like, shitty animes like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, ha 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 ha, you get what we're doing, but we're not gonna do it, because fuck you. Do you have anything you want to add before I get into the final episode and die, Spooky?
Not really from that episode, except for it's just like, I don't know if it mentioned in it that that's their first live performance ever, so...
I thought so.
Yeah, but aside from that, like, not a ton to add to that episode that I can think of.
Well, there is the fun fact that the bassist is a better singer than the
oh my god!
Yeah.
So Caleb and I are literally watching K-On! Right now together. And,
oh god.
literally every no, it was his idea. Literally every single time the ending song comes on, he's like, oh my god, it's so much better. Like, every single time. It kills me. No, yeah, Caleb fucking loves cute girls doing cute things.
Oh my god. Why is Caleb, like, perfect for you?
He
like,
really is
perfect
for me.
Caleb is, like, the one that, like, goes and listens to, like, Korn and shit, and, like, fucking long hair, heavy metal, like, all clothes are black, and then he's like, okay, but also I really like cute things.
Which
honestly,
is
perfect
like,
for you.
It is.
The moment, there's like been several moments where you've told me stories about Caleb where it's like, they're good together. But especially the most recent one where you were like, I was crying on my bed after reading the After the Rain manga, and he comes in and he's just like, did it, something sad happen? Did it just end bad? Come on, let's get food.
Yeah, he was like, listen, whatever you wanted to happen, it happens after the series. I'll buy you whatever food you want today. And I was like, thank you. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So he's, like, been really wanting to watch K-On! So yeah, we're literally watching this right now. And every single time we make a comment, every single episode, about how Miyu is so much better on vocals. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, so, last episode.
Damn it, I was hoping you'd forget there's one more episode.
Nope. I'm not asleep this time.
This time.
Okay, so we start the episode with, oh hey, there's a new girl in the band now. Woohoo! and she plays guitar too. She goes up to Yui and is like, "Oh, so you play guitar too? I guess that means you're my senpai." And Yui kind of breaks down like, "Senpai, I'm the senpai finally." And then stuff happens, and then we find out the new girl is a lot better than Yui at the guitar.
Everyone's better
way
than
better
Yui at everything.
Everyone's better than Yui because we find out why. Because now it's tea time. Oh, it's tea time. Everyone's eating tea and drinking cake. And then the new girl's like, "Wait, don't we want to practice?" And then everyone's like, No, this is important. This is important. We gotta drink tea and eat cake and the opposite as well. And then the teacher walks in. She's like, "Oh no, we shouldn't be eating in here. I'm sorry, miss, this isn't what it looks like." And the teacher sits down and is like, "I'll have this tea today and this cake." And the new girl's like, "What?" And then she's like, "I'm just gonna practice them while you guys drink tea." And then the teacher fucking yells at her for no fucking reason. Like, I know there is a reason, but it is not an excuse and not a reason. And then the new girl starts crying, and everyone's like, "Oh no, you made her cry." And then she cracks and starts yelling at the teacher, and at everyone like, "We're meant to be fucking, like, practicing here, like, this is a practice session, like, why are you so unmotivated?" And then they're like, "Oh no, now we're terrified of her." And she's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have yelled at them, I'm so sorry." And then we get to the next session, where they come over again, and they're like, she's like, "I shouldn't have yelled at them, but I just wanted to practice, but I hope they don't, like, hold it against me." She opens the door, and they're in there eating cake and drinking tea again. She's like, "They're completely fucking unfazed, what the fuck?" They see her, and they're like, "Oh, no, we were just getting ready to practice." And then they do a whole routine of, like, "See, I'll practice," plays one note and then collapses because she has no energy. Get it? She needs to eat cake. She's like, "Come on, new girl, just try the cake. Try the cake. Eat the cake. Eat the cake."
She's like, "Why is it poisoned?" "Yes."
And then we get the ow,
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 ow.
and she's like, "Okay, maybe the cake is good." And then the teacher comes in. She's like, "Hey, girls, by the way, new girl, you're a cat girl now. Here's your cat ears." And she's like, "What?" And then everyone's wearing cat ears next session. And then she's like, "Hey, new girl, or should I say, nya girl, I got you an outfit too. It's a maid outfit. You're a cat girl maid now." And she's like, "What?" And then Yui's like, No. Nya.
And then she's like,
"Nya." That's when we learned that the new girl is Barry. Because everyone keeps telling her to say nya.
Yeah.
And then we get this whole episode of, like, she's like, "I don't know why I joined this band. They don't want to practice. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense." And Mia's like, "Hey, maybe we should practice, because, like, if we don't start doing something, this new girl might leave." And they're like, "No, it's fine. It's fine. Things aren't going to change. It's fine. It's all good." And then Mia doesn't want to wear the cat ears, but secretly she does. But anyway, they're like, "Okay, come on, guys, let's practice. We gotta practice. Come on." And then Azusa walks in, the new girl, and she's like, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore." And then they're like, "You know what? Fuck it. Let's play a song, and that'll bring her into the band." And then she's like, "I was going to leave, but I realized why I wanted to join this band. Because I wanted friendship." And then the episode ends, and I die.
The episode ends and GAM ends simultaneously.
Yeah, that's what happens. So, fucking... yeah.
Yeah. I love this show, guys.
I would only watch this if I had it on in the background and was, like, playing a video game.
That makes sense. Shows like this are very good, like, watch while you do other things type deals. So K-on's, like, actually this huge influential show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's ginormous. To the point where, like it helped that there was, like, a small town where, like, the school was located. And it, like, helped bring, like, tourism to that town and, like, kind of, like, did so much for it. Like, people still go there just to, like, see the school. The school, like, has shut down, and now it's, like, basically a museum for K-on. Like,
I was about to say, please don't say it's just turned into a museum for chaos. Oh my god.
It literally is.
Well,
yeah, so,
anime was a mistake.
Caesar School.
Yeah.
Caesar School in an anime. Is that a motherfucking K-On! Reference?
Yeah, so, yeah, no, K-on's, like, super influential and influenced, like, a ton of shows that came after it. It basically, like, cemented, like, what this genre, like, is now. Which is
so this
insane.
is the best foot forward
This is
for the moe genre.
What? Yeah, I mean, if you're talking like ideal cute girls doing cute things, yes. I don't know if it's technically my favorite of the genre, because there's a lot that like went a little more comedy. There's like, you know what I mean? Like they've changed it. Like the base form, like over time.
You could argue that Asobi Asabase was like it was mainly a comedy anime,
right?
but like
yeah, it was slice of life.
You could
too.
argue that it's slice of life type shit.
Yeah, no, that was slice of life. Yeah, but as far as just like moe goes, it's like I don't think we've watched any. I think this is our first thing that is like moe at all.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
At some point, we'll watch more.
I know it's good. I just don't want to watch this.
No,
unless
yeah, that makes
it's on in
sense.
the background because it's like
total sense.
So much of nothing happens that it's like for me, it's like I'm wasting my time watching it.
Yeah, no, I
like,
totally. Get that.
I have to be doing something else in order for that time to be worth it. So it's like
Yeah. I don't know. The series did a lot of really cool things. KyoAni, I mean, granted, this was a 2009 show, so it's not going to look like the best in the world, but KyoAni, I think, knocked it out of the park for it being a 2009 show.
It looks
as far
fine.
as animation and stuff goes, yeah.
It looks fine. The animation, actually, I remember always seeing, like, GIFs and images of it online.
Yeah.
And, like, I always remember, like, the animation, like, looked really good.
Yeah, and they
like,
did it.
For what it is, it looks
Yeah.
really fluid in a lot of the movements.
Yeah, and they did a lot of really cool little things with it. Like, at the beginning of each episode, when it says the episode title and it plays little cassette, that's, like, Yui's progress on guitar, like, as she goes. Like, the first episode, it's, like, awful, and then as it goes, it becomes, like, more complex things you can do on guitar, which is really cool, too. Like, they put a lot of little details into K-On! I don't know. It's just cute. That's all moe is. It's just cute. They're cute girls. They do cute things, and that's about the extent of it. Like,
yeah.
Yes, that is the extent of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how the little the ending songs are always great. So the openings are always Yui singing, and the endings are always Mio singing. So all of the endings are great. And that's pretty. That's
and
a pretty.
And
yeah.
the intros exist.
Yeah. And that's pretty universal. I think most people prefer the Mio songs, because they're just better. Also, completely random. Can you guys guess who my least favorite character is? I'm curious.
The teacher. I don't know.
The teacher.
No.
Wait, if we're talking out of the main five.
Yeah, well, yeah. She's kind of my least favorite out of, like, even supporting cast, though. The Adam
New guitar.
It's
don't know
either
her
new
name.
guitar or it's the drummer.
Really? Okay, first off, I'm shocked neither of you said Yui, but it is
Actually,
new guitar.
wait, no, you
Well,
didn't.
no, we
No,
just
that's right.
expected
said-
you to dislike Yui.
Yeah,
We
no,
thought
my
you'd
least
been
favorite
someone else, I
character out of
think.
the whole series is Azusa. I hate Azusa.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't really
Yeah,
like her
she's
that
my
much either.
she's my least favorite. I'm just like, I don't know. I thought the four were like fine, and then they brought in Azusa.
What is the point of her character?
She's like basically Mio 2.0, except for like more serious about it, I guess. I don't know.
I guess my thing is, like, why does that group need another one in that dynamic?
Exactly.
Like, the dynamic of the four of them is fine.
I agree 100%. I really don't know why Azusa was ever introduced, aside from it to be, like, kind of emotional at the end when it's, like, they're graduating and she's still a year below them. That's, like, the only thing that's, like, okay. I don't know. So yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's something the mangaka did. This was an adaptation from a manga. The manga actually, if I remember correctly, wasn't that successful, but the anime like blew the hell up. But that's kind of like common with KyoAni things, like with the studio. They take things and adapt them in like a really fucking good way to make people like give a shit. So but yeah. Anything else?
I never want to watch anything ever again.
Well, good thing we're not watching Moe next week. I'll figure, or no, not next week. Next time we record. But what?
5 out of 10.
Oh yeah.
This is like Numbers. This is not the worst thing I've ever seen. I have reasons for not liking the show, and it's my least favorite genre out of all of them, honestly. But like, I don't know. There are parts of it that are not terrible. Like, there are parts of it that I found legitimately funny and actually laughed at with my friends. The problem being, I don't want to watch everything else just to get to those parts.
Right. And did you say a 5 also, Gam?
Yeah, I'd say a 5 also.
Okay. I honestly expected you guys to both go lower than a 5.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I don't hate it. It's just, I don't care.
Right.
Like, if it... I would only rate something 0 if, like, I actively don't want to watch it. But this is just, like, a passive, like, if it's on, like, say, hypothetically, I'm watching TV or something, and it's on, it's like, I'm not going to turn it off. It's like, it's something.
Right.
It's not terrible, it's something.
Yeah, I was expecting, like, maybe... like 3s or something. Like I did not expect a 5 and expect an average.
I am very much so anti moe genre, but this is probably the most palatable one.
Oh boy. I'm just when we watch more it's gonna be a fun time.
I can already hear like Spooky's like, should we do this one? Should we do this one? And then Spooky's just like, I know they're gonna give this one a 1.
Yeah, I'll just...
Like, I'm waiting for that.
I'll at least wait a couple recordings before I throw more Moe at you guys. Like I said, I was like, okay, Moe block time, we're gonna do K-On! Because it's like a good one, and then we're gonna do a bad one. And then both of you were like, ugh! And I was like,
yep.
Maybe rethink this a little bit. Because I was expecting it to go one of two ways. I was expecting either you both go into it and you're like, yeah, like kind of the reaction you had, like, I didn't really like it. Or I was expecting you to be like, okay, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, it was kind of enjoyable.
No, it was exactly where I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I didn't expect either of you to be like, wow, I love this. This is my favorite show. But it was one of the two. I wasn't sure which one it was going to be. But as soon as you guys were like, ugh, I was like, okay.
What happens when you show us something that we hate and then it just becomes our absolute favorite show somehow? And you're just like, I don't understand.
What, you mean something that I'm going to be like, oh, they're going to hate this, and then you both love it?
Yes.
I don't...
And it becomes our absolute favorite show.
I don't know if that's possible. Honestly. I have no idea if that's like a thing that's possible.
Probably not, because me and Gam have such different tastes, but that'd be fucking amazing if it did.
Yeah.
Honestly, if we ever find out 2 things that we actually both really love, dear, that would be insane.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean...
We wouldn't love it for the same reason.
Right.
No.
I think so far the one you guys have agreed on the most as far as anime podcasts is Aizuken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aizuken, yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the only one.
I think all three of us gave that like a 9 or a 10, so it's pretty cool.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I honestly, do you guys have anything else to say about K-On?
Nope. Fuck this show.
I don't ever want to say anything more about K-On! Ever in my life.
Yeah, I'm good.
Maybe at some point we'll watch season 2. Maybe not. I don't know.
Uh-huh.
So it would be a long ass time from now, so don't worry about it.
Goodbye.
Bye. Bye, crowds.
Bye, crowds.
Bye,
Fuck you,
crowds. Love you, crowds.
I don't.